What do you think? It's not things I know, figure it out yourself. Even when I try to consult, he won't even listen. Thinking about Tom and his friends spending the rest of their days in Saipan without any disturbance, I realized there was no longer any need to hesitate. When we got home, we quickly started packing. Can we really move out right now? Yes, it's all good. We immediately had them come over and started moving out things that were already packed. After that, we headed straight to the real estate agent. I want to sell my house. The real estate agent was very kind and managed to arrange for the house to be sold the same day. And just like that, Tom no longer had a home to return to. My name is Jessica, and I'm 43 years old. Currently, my husband Tom and I live in an apartment in the city. We got married 5 years ago. It was a late marriage, and since we were not blessed with children, we don't have any. Still, thanks to Tom's words, life's joys aren't limited to having children. I'm able to live happily every day without being tied down by guilt for not being able to have children. Tom is in his prime at 45. Lately, he's been stuck with a lot of overtime work and often comes home late. I used to work at the same company as Tom, but I quit when we got married. Tom said, "It's a bit embarrassing to work at the same company as my wife, so I want you to quit your job." Respecting Tom's wishes, I quit my job and have been a full-time housewife ever since. One day, I received a call from my sister-in-law, Mia, who lives in the next town. It was an unexpected call, and she said, "I'm a bit worried about Mom's condition. I can't go check on her right away, can you do it for me?" Mia is a very reliable person, and I have been in her care many times since marrying Tom. Mia has 2 children, a 9th grader and a 12th grader, both of whom are growing up to be fine individuals. Given how wonderful Mia is, it's no surprise her children are turning out so well. She's someone I deeply respect. So, of course, I rushed to check on my mother-in-law, Kate, the next day at Mia's request. How wonderful Mia can be immediately seen through Kate. I adore her. She's a straightforward person, always logical and holds firm opinions. She can rectify what's wrong and yet takes great care of those around her. I'm truly grateful to have met such a wonderful mother-in-law and sister-in-law through my marriage to Tom. I was shocked when I entered my in-laws' house. It was cluttered to the point there was no place to step, with trash everywhere, almost like a garbage house. This was odd because Kate is usually very tidy. In the midst of the clutter, Kate was idly sitting around, doing nothing. I called out, "Kate?" Slowly turning to me, she stood up and said, "Who might you be?" Then, looking at Tom who came with me, she said, "Ah, Tom, welcome." We were stunned. Shocked by the drastic change in Kate, we hurriedly made a doctor's appointment for the next day and had her examined. After undergoing various tests for days, the results came in. She had dementia. And it was severe enough to require care. We called Mia to the in-laws' house for a discussion. Needing care meant someone had to look after Kate at the in-laws' house indefinitely. Mia said, "Thank you, Jessica. I'll take it from here," but surprisingly, Tom objected. "No, Mia, it's tough for you since you live far and moving here would be hard on the kids." Indeed, since Mia lives in the next town, it would mean her younger child would have to transfer schools. "We'll move back here and take care of Mom." "That's okay, with you, right, Jessica?" I was surprised. I never thought Tom was such a responsible person. Moved by Tom's sentiment, I firmly agreed, of course. After all, it's for my beloved Kate. And so began my days of caring for Kate. Moving to the in-laws, our daily life with Kate started. While managing the house, I took care of all Kate's needs. Since she would try to wander off if not watched, I had to keep an eye on her at all times. Whether doing laundry, cleaning, or cooking, I was always watching over her. But then, I noticed the loneliness in her expressions. I wondered if she was really happy with such a life. Even with dementia, there must be moments of joy and happiness. Just being watched and having to sit still all the time couldn't possibly be enjoyable. So, I tried asking, "Kate, would you help me hang the laundry?" She brightened up and eagerly helped, saying, "Of course, I'd love to." Despite her struggles with dexterity, what mattered was her enjoyment in the task. This was indeed the right approach, and I was pleased. From then on, whether cooking or cleaning, I involved her instead of just watching over her. Thanks to this, she seemed to have become more comfortable with moving around. On sunny days, I'd suggest, the weather is nice today. How about we eat lunch in the park? Kate would agree, that sounds lovely, and we would enjoy our meals outdoors together. I never found this life burdensome. Mia always handled the hospital visits, and her 2 kids frequently came to see their grandmother. Amidst all this, there was someone completely uncooperative. That person was Tom. Though he was the one who initially said, "We'll take care of Mom," Tom hardly lifted a finger to help. Reporting to him about the day's events with Kate met with his disinterest and sluggish responses. Even when asked for a little help, he'd retort, "I'm tired from work." Why should I be tired at home too? Indeed, Tom has been coming home late due to overtime, so he might be tired, but I wished for some support. He wouldn't even speak to Kate upon returning home. What do you think about doing this for Kate next time? It's not things I know. Decide for yourself. Even when I tried to discuss something, he wouldn't listen. It felt as though Tom was only returning home to sleep. One night, Tom hadn't returned by 11 p.m. Given his recent pattern of late returns due to overtime, I went to bed assuming the same. However, sleep eluded me that night. As time passed, it turned into the early hours of the next day. I was wondering why Tom was so late when I heard a car outside. Thinking it was unusual to hear a car at such a late hour, I looked out the window and saw Tom getting out of the car. And in the driver's seat, there was a woman. In a moment that seemed surreal, they laughed together and, unbelievably, kissed. Without realizing, I had captured this moment on my phone, impressed by my own reflexes. Our bedroom at the in-laws is on the ground floor. Not far from the window to the car, the photo captured the scene perfectly. Shocked, my hands wouldn't stop shaking. Hearing the front door open, I quickly got back into bed. And that photo would later become my trump card. Since that night, I started paying close attention to Tom's behavior. And then, several inconsistencies began to emerge. Thinking about it, even the overtime he claimed to have was suspicious. Tom might have forgotten, but I used to work at the same company as him. I knew what kind of work he did, and it was clear that his job didn't require overtime if you thought about it. And it was possible to verify such a small lie. I called my former colleague and friend, Ashley, after a long time. It's been a while. What's up? Sorry to call out of the blue, but I wanted to ask something. How's Tom's department doing? Are they really busy? Tom's? No, I was assigned to the same department as Tom just last month. But it's really slow. I feel bad for getting paid for this. Just as I thought. There's no way he could be doing overtime in such a slow situation. That means Tom must be spending those evenings he claimed to be working late with his affair partner. My suspicion turned into conviction. One morning, Tom was about to leave for work with a large bag in his hand. I found it suspicious and asked, "What's with that big bag?" Tom, visibly flustered, said, "I suddenly have to go on a week-long business trip. Take care of things while I'm gone." A whole week? Where to? I need to check at the office. I'm not sure yet. Anyway, I'm off. And he hurried out. I sent a message to Ashley. Is anyone scheduled for a business trip today? I haven't checked, but there shouldn't be. We haven't had any big projects come in recently. Just as I thought. So, he's planning to be away for a week to meet his affair partner. Then, Jessica, Kate called out my name. She showed me a piece of paper. It had Tom's handwriting, with what seemed to be the name and phone number of a hotel, along with today's and tomorrow's dates and a room number. This fell out of Tom's pocket when I was doing his laundry the other day. I should have given it to you sooner. I'm sorry, Jessica. For Tom's behavior. So, Kate, you knew about Tom too? Jessica, we can't just let this slide. Tom needs to face the consequences of his actions. We don't have time to mope around. Kate's words were as if she was back to her old self before the dementia. Seeing her so determined filled me with resolve. Yes. I will never forgive him. First, with Kate's approval, we decided to call Mia. As soon as Mia arrived, she apologized, "Jessica, I'm so sorry. Tom has done something really stupid." I reassured Mia that there was no need for her to apologize, and the three of us began to plan our next steps. We checked the note and confirmed the location of the hotel. Tom would be staying there for the next 2 days. What to do next was the question. The next day, we decided to drive to the hotel in Mia's car. Arriving at a hotel close to the airport, we spotted a familiar car in the parking lot. I checked the photo on my phone. Of course, it was the photo from the night Tom was kissing that woman. It was the same car from that photo. After a while, a familiar man emerged from the hotel. It was indeed Tom. We hid in the shadow of the car to avoid being seen. Soon after, a woman came out and cozied up to Tom, linking arms with him. As I captured this scene with my camera, I witnessed something unbelievable. Both Kate and Mia were left speechless. There was a little boy, about 1 year old, with them. He happily held Tom's hand, and the three of them walked away cheerfully together. To anyone passing by, they would look like nothing but a happy, close-knit family. And here I was, his real wife, taking photos of this scene. I felt pathetic, but this was no time for such thoughts. The trio headed straight to the airport. They left their car at the hotel. Upon reaching the airport, they spent some time there, laughing and enjoying themselves before disappearing into the boarding area. Looking at their destination, it was Saipan. Thinking about Tom, the woman, and the boy spending the rest of their days in Saipan without any disturbance, I realized there was no longer any need to hesitate. When we got home, we immediately started sorting through our belongings and began packing quickly, then called the removal workers. "Is it possible to move out right now?" "Yes, that's perfectly fine." They came promptly and helped us pack. As items were packed, they were moved out and temporarily stored at Mia's place. After that, we headed straight to the real estate agent. "I want to sell my house." The staff at the real estate agency were very kind and arranged for the sale to be processed the same day. With this, Tom no longer had a home to return to. Just thinking about it made me feel exhilarated. Afterward, Kate and I booked a room in a nearby business hotel, where we would stay for a while. Tom indeed once told me, life's joys aren't limited to having children. But did he actually want children? Did he have an affair and have a child because we couldn't have one together? Only he knows the truth, but as Kate said, I can't just let this go without doing anything. I will never forgive him. 7 days later, Tom called my phone. "Hey, where are you? I can't open the door and get in." "That makes sense. Because I sold that house." "What are you talking about?" "Hope you enjoyed your 5 nights and 6 days trip to Saipan. Was it fun with your family of 3? I hope it made for some good memories." Well, I could tell Tom was frozen on the other end of the line. I continued. "You no longer have a home here. We've moved out and sold the place. You should go back to the woman and your child." "Wait, it's not like that, it's a misunderstanding. That child isn't mine, it's..." Fed up with his excuses, I unleashed all my anger. "Don't mess with me. Enough with the mocking, alright? You think excuses are going to fly now? I never want to see a scumbag like you ever again." Tom was silenced, perhaps shocked by my outburst. Kate, who had been listening on speaker, spoke up. "Tom, no matter how much you try to squirm your way out of this, it's futile. We have all the evidence, and this call is being monitored by a lawyer. I'm severing ties with you as a parent. Don't expect any leniency or inheritance from me." "But..." "Wait, Mom. You're not even showing signs of dementia. Idiot. I am genuinely diagnosed with dementia. But how could I not be there for Jessica in her time of need? She has been by my side through everything. I couldn't call myself a mother-in-law if I didn't repay that." Hearing this, tears welled up in my eyes. Despite everything my husband did, I was fortunate to have such a kind Kate and a supportive Mia. I was truly blessed as a daughter-in-law. Later, I divorced him. Thanks to the excellent support from the lawyer, I could divorce without any troubles. Of course, the photos served as crucial evidence, but the most significant factor turned out to be the existence of a secret child. The fact that I couldn't have children was also part of the reason, which feels quite complex when I think about it. I reported all the details of the affair to Tom's company, and he quickly became the subject of rumors there. However, these were not good rumors, and as a result, he was met with cold stares from everyone, from his coworkers to his superiors. Despite being unable to quit his job, he now works miserably, looked down upon by everyone. The affair partner, now aware of his financial ruin, treats him coldly, and he's not even allowed to see the child. Though he still has to pay child support. His life has become quite pitiful, both financially and mentally. Mia's eldest child got accepted into college and started living independently. Because of that, Kate began living with Mia. I purchased a plot of land and built a small, single-story house on it. It was there that I began a new chapter in my life. Utilizing the qualifications I already had, I now work from home. Kate and Mia often visit, so I never feel lonely. The dementia Kate had seems like a distant memory now. Although the doctors say it's hard to declare a full recovery, she credits her improvement to my support. I'm determined to find more joy in my life and live happily ever after. Thank you for choosing our hotel. We look forward to welcoming you again. I see off our guests at the entrance. Smiling back, I wave at a child who is waving goodbye. My name is Lisa, and I'm 30 years old. I'm the manager of this hotel. This hotel is owned by my family. It's located in a famous hiking area in California. Thanks to our guests, our hotel is well known as a luxury establishment in the region and is widely patronized. My husband, David, is 33 years old. Originally, he worked in sales for a travel agency, but we started dating when he included our hotel in one of his tours, where I was working in public relations. We got married after dating for 2 years. After our marriage, he quit his job and now works as the vice president of our hotel. My parents are still alive. My mother manages the hotel as the general manager, and my father is involved in the business as the president. David's parents are also alive. His father retired 3 years ago but still goes to work occasionally as a consultant. His mother, Jessica, turned 60 this year. She has always been a housewife but is very active with lots of friends, enjoying women's groups and travel. However, David says Jessica has a habit of spending without thinking, often buying things on a whim and getting scolded by his father. The hotel's business was stable and doing well until it was affected by the global pandemic, like the rest of the world. But thanks to my husband's idea of offering an affordable day trip hiking tour for local residents, we managed to survive by attracting many local customers. Lately, things have started to calm down, and we're relieved to see guests coming from out of state as well. Despite the stable life, there's something troubling me. It's about Jessica. She visits our family home alone 2 to 3 times a month to see David. His father rarely comes, saying it would be a bother. It's not a problem in itself, but our home is a 6-hour airplane from New York, followed by an hour by a car, making it difficult for a day trip. So, naturally, she stays overnight. However, she prefers staying at the hotel instead of the family home. She says, it must be hard to prepare meals and accommodations at home, so it's easier to stay at a hotel where everything is ready. Plus, there's a spa service, and I find it more comfortable. Having her stay at the hotel reduces the number of rooms available for guests, affecting our revenue. And we can't just put her in any cheap room, we have to provide a room of a certain standard. Our hotel is one of the largest in the area, with the highest rooms starting at $500 per night. Of course, we can't offer such rooms to her, but we still need to prepare a middle-level or higher room. Including meals, the cost comes to about $300, but she doesn't pay. Additionally, there's another issue. According to Jessica, she says she's checking the hotel as a monitor from a third-party perspective. I want to tell her to stop interfering, but she's my husband's mother, so I can't just ignore her. She makes suggestions, more like complaints, about the hotel's reception, the front desk's customer service, the baths, and other facilities. Well, in simple terms, she's a complainer. Since the employees have gotten to know her, they often ask, Lisa, when is that person coming back? Though she claims to be monitoring, she doesn't produce any reports, she just calls me over when she's leaving to complain. She might think she's giving advice to improve the hotel's quality. It feels like a Jessica's way of nagging. The general manager, my mother, says she doesn't mean harm, so just listen to what's necessary and let the rest go. My father, the president, also takes it lightly, saying, if she likes our hotel and the spa service, isn't that a good thing? I never thought I'd have trouble with Jessica while living at my own home. I've mentioned this to David several times, but he says, we can't tell her not to come, and she means well, so it's probably fine. Then one day, I got a call on my phone. It was Jessica. I have a bad feeling, but I can't just ignore it. Hello, this is Lisa. Ah, Lisa? It's Jessica. It's been a while. It's been a while. What can I do for you today? Oh dear, after such a long time, you could at least say, how are you, or any changes lately. Ah, my apologies. Well, that's okay. Anyway, I have a favor to ask. Yes, what is it? Some local friends of mine want to go on hiking. We were wondering if there are any good places. And I remembered there are several nice hiking routes and delicious food around your hotel, so I mentioned it to everyone. Thank you very much. I couldn't help but think this was unnecessary. This season is peak time, so we're quite busy. I really don't have time to attend to Jessica. So, everyone agreed. We plan to come on the long weekend next month. Could you reserve some rooms for us? Next month? That might be difficult. How many people will there be? 6, including me. All women, of course. Would it be alright to split into 2 or 3 rooms then? That won't do. Jessica strongly objected. They are important friends, so prepare the best suite. 1 room. That's my request. Our highest suite includes a living room and 4 bedrooms. It's possible for 6 people, but 2 would have to sleep on sofa beds. No, sofa beds are too hard. Add 2 more beds, please. That's impossible. We can't fit more beds in the room. That won't do. They're important friends, so provide the best hospitality. It's my treat, so if it's subpar, I'll be embarrassed, understand? A treat from Jessica? Does that mean she expects it to be free? That's impossible. The room arrangement is settled then. Now, about the food. Prepare the best dishes. Got it? Alright, I'm counting on you. Oh. And tell David to pick us up at the airport. After the call ended, I sighed deeply. Really, what is she thinking? Reluctantly, I proceeded with the arrangements as instructed. And so, Jessica and her group were to visit our hotel on their group trip. She implied that everything should be free. I discussed this challenging situation with my husband, the vice president. He said, that's outrageous. My mother has never worked, so she probably doesn't understand how hard it is to earn money. I'll talk this over with my dad, so leave it to me. Feeling anxious, I decided to trust my husband, who seemed to have a plan. On the day, as promised, my husband went to pick up Jessica and her group from the airport. Soon after the car returned, I greeted Jessica as she got out. Jessica, welcome. Ah, Lisa, thank you for having us. These are my friends from the local women's club. Please take good care of us. They seemed like a group of elegant grandmothers. I then escorted them to their room. It's the hotel's best suite, located on the top floor. It has 4 bedrooms, a living room, and a wide balcony. But as soon as they entered the room, the complaints began. How can there be no chairs for people with bad legs? The service here is poor. My apologies. We'll prepare some immediately. And I'd like better snacks, please. Yes, I'm sorry. We'll bring different snacks right away. Although the other ladies tried to calm her down, Jessica's criticisms didn't stop. Reluctantly, I instructed the responsible employee to accommodate her requests. The group then headed to hiking. There, I was called again because the wash basin in the changing room was dirty. In my opinion, it seemed like she was being extra strict in front of her friends, trying to show off. And then it was time for dinner. As requested, I brought dishes made with high-end ingredients to the room and took on the role of server myself. The dishes were generally well received. However, Jessica didn't change her ways and complained about various things, such as the meat being too thick to eat, the batter on the fried food being too thick, and the next dish coming out too quickly. Furthermore, she started saying things like, "Are you reducing the portions because you think we're old?" and demanded additional dishes. Jessica stirred up everyone, saying, "Since this is my daughter-in-law's family home, she'll cover all the expenses. So don't hold back on ordering." Then, she ordered luxurious items like crab and abalone. And there were additional orders for premium wines. Honestly, the bill amounted to quite a lot. The elderly ladies ate heartily, leaving almost nothing unfinished from their dinner. Then, she demanded they reserve the spa service for their private use to relax later. When I said that it was impossible, she retorted, "What kind of manager can't meet the guests' requests?" After consulting with my mother, she suggested that we could possibly make an exception to reserve the spa exclusively for them the following morning. When I conveyed this to them, they thankfully agreed. Then, there were even more orders for late-night snacks and drinks before bed. Truly, these are some lively grandmothers. Even when it came to sleeping arrangements, we carried beds to the room as requested. Since moving large beds was impractical, we prepared extra beds, but this too was met with complaints. She was furious, exclaiming, "I can't sleep in a bed like this." At a loss for what to do, another guest kindly intervened, saying that was sufficient, and somehow the situation was diffused. After a day that felt like a storm, I was finally freed. I expressed my gratitude to the employee in charge for their hard work and considering the extra trouble they went through. I gave them a special bonus. I returned home completely exhausted. After finishing the preparations for the next day, I didn't get into bed until after midnight. The following day, they reserved the spa service exclusively, and the group enjoyed it in the morning. Normally it's cleaning time, but I managed to adjust the schedule by asking the staff. The whims of one person caused inconvenience to many. Then, my husband said he was going to pick someone up and headed to the airport by car. They finished breakfast without any particular complaints. Well, there were some minor complaints about the coffee being too lukewarm and the soup being too salty. After serving breakfast, I went back to the front desk to prepare for the guests' checkout. That's when I saw the total bill for Jessica's group exceeded $5,000. Soon, the group appeared. I stopped Jessica, who was about to leave after returning her key to the front desk, and asked her to settle the bill. The total comes to $5,000. Will you be paying in cash or by card? Then, Jessica exclaimed, "Huh? Are you serious about taking money from your husband's mother? You must be joking. Are you really planning to charge your own family? How greedy can you be?" I explained, "This is a business, and we've provided services worth the amount. We can't afford not to charge for such a significant sum." Jessica, with her face turning red, said, "This is hospitality for your husband's mother, you wouldn't charge me, right? Would I ask for money when you come to my house? It's the same thing, isn't it? What flawed logic?" "No, that's different. We understood this to be a group trip utilizing our hotel services. This is a business transaction, separate from family matters, so we kindly ask for the payment." Well, I'm appalled. Such rudeness from a daughter-in-law. It's disrespectful to me and especially to my friends. At that moment, a familiar figure intervened in our dispute. "What's all this commotion?" I apologized for the inconvenience. I apologized. And then, when I looked at the person's face. "Ah. Hey, long time no see. I was asked by David to come here on the first airplane this morning. I'm starving. I'd love to have breakfast here later." It was an unexpected appearance by my father-in-law, Mike. "Mike, it's been a while. I'll arrange for breakfast right away." No, let's take care of business first. That's why I'm here." Mike came here in response to my husband's SOS. Then, he turned to Jessica. "Oh, it's you. Why are you here?" "Well, I came to check on David and Lisa." "Is that strange?" "No, it's not strange, but..." there's something I want to ask. What might that be? It seems like there's been some trouble going on. Is something the matter? No, nothing's wrong, right, Lisa? I thought it was a good opportunity, so I honestly told Mike everything. Actually, we've been serving Jessica's group since yesterday, and she demanded that we make the payment free, which we explained was impossible. Oh. And how much does that come to? Yes, under Jessica's instructions, they used our highest room, with various additional orders and the use of services like massages. The total came to about $5,000. I see. And she wanted that for free. Yes, that's the situation. After hearing the situation, Mike pressed Jessica, is what Lisa says true? Yes. Jessica was at a loss for words. I've heard from David that you always avoid paying when you come here. Is that true? Well, about that, I've been acting as a consultant and giving them advice, so in return, they let me stay for free. At this point, Mike's expression changed. Enough is enough. I know all about it. Yes. Jessica's face tensed up and turned pale. I heard you've been coming to this hotel for free under the pretext of visiting David and causing trouble for Lisa. Isn't that right? I'm sorry. I got a bit carried away. Do you know that every time you skipped out on paying for this hotel, David ended up covering the bill? What? I've come to discuss something. David was worried about you using the hotel for free again during this trip. I'm sorry. He was concerned that you would take advantage of the free stay again, so he reached out to me. I couldn't just ignore it and had to come here. As I expected, you were causing trouble for Lisa and her parents. I'm sorry. I've been worried about your spending habits for a while now. Your attitude towards Lisa is also unacceptable. That's why I've made a decision. What is that? If you want to see David that badly, how about working here as an employee for a while? Until you've repaid all the charges. But, how can you suddenly say such a thing? No, you don't understand the difficulty of earning money. How many services have you taken advantage of at this hotel? And you demand they be free. The difficulty of working and the value of the money earned from it. Someone who doesn't understand that should experience it themselves. With that, Mike asked David to have Jessica work at the hotel. I apologize for the trouble. Could you please train her for a while? And let her salary go towards repaying her debts. David. Make sure to put Jessica to good use. David nodded, then apologized to me. I should have been firmer with my mother from the start. I'm sorry for the trouble she's caused your family. It's okay. But what about Jessica? Well, maybe we'll start her off with cleaning. She probably won't be good at customer service, so she'll be like a trainee for a while. And so, the next day, Jessica began working as an employee. Mike sent everything she needed for living on site from their home. At first, Jessica struggled with the unfamiliar physical work and suffered from muscle pain. She probably never imagined she'd end up cleaning the very hotel she used to critique as a monitor. Eventually, Jessica became capable of handling customers, even addressing issues she had previously pointed out herself. As she continued working, she gradually realized how selfish she had been. Jessica became much more subdued and stopped harassing me. It might have been a bit of tough love, but it seems to have been good medicine. Mike's plan was a great success. Although my job is challenging, seeing the smiles on our guests' faces makes all the fatigue vanish, and it brings me joy. I intend to keep working hard to earn the smiles and thank yous from our customers.